And up there's John.
Oh. Quite the crew tonight.
There he is. Okay, all right. I tried to wait, but they were like, let's go. All right. Raymond High School soccer team. You're up. Good job.
Hey, thanks for having us. We have Coach Todd Ledoux and a number of girls here from the girls soccer team to talk about this they have this year.
Thank you. Yeah, so we had an incredible season this year with a really incredible group of young ladies. I don't want to spoil what they're going to say, so I'll let them take it from here.
The girls' soccer season, as we know, has had an incredible regular season with a record of 103 goals scored and only 3 against, including wins. I can't wait to put into work. I can't even put into words how grateful I am to be part of this amazing team. We started our season in the early summer with a lot of hard work and early morning and late night practice under the lights. I feel that this hard work really helped bring us together as a team and make us one. Since we didn't lose any seniors and added some new talent, I knew we were definitely bonding. I knew we were going to have an advantage over the rest. After all the team bonding, I feel as though our minds became one on the field. Watching from the back of the field and net, I feel that I saw the most of everything. Words weren't even necessary for us. There was just an unspoken understanding of what needed to be done, and everyone knew exactly what it was. If I could do it all again, including all of the hardships, I would in a heartbeat. Thank you, coaches Matt, Todd, and Dr. Carter for supporting this season. Thank you, Violins and Defenders, for keeping us.
Yeah, honestly, I think our record shows how good we worked on the team, but honestly, I think the way we work together just it needs to speak for itself. There was no negative energy at all. We were so positive towards each other. Everyone was always so uplifting, and yeah, I'm just really proud to be a part of this team and how far we came. And yeah. I also want to bring up the fact it didn't matter if we were playing or we were off the field doing team bond events, or even if we were players were sitting on the bench. It doesn't matter if somebody got more playing time, or it doesn't matter on our team. We're all best friends. And I think that's really what made us so successful in our season, is that we didn't care what happened. We just wanted to play our game, have fun, and continue being friends through all of it.
Can you guys introduce yourselves in grade, please?
I'm a senior. My name is Gianna Gott, and starting striker.
My name is Michaela Nunes. I'm a sophomore and I'm a starting goalkeeper.
My name's Allie. I'm a junior, and I play for the Todd Tells. And Izzy, I'm a sophomore, and I play left wing. I'm Sarah, and I'm a junior, and I'm a center back.
Yeah, so obviously we had a great season, great team bonding. What the girls didn't talk about, we also had multiple players make the all-state team this year.
If their names right here, I can't do last names. If you want me to announce them.
Sure. Yeah,
First team All-State D,
Deacon Ashland,
Sophie.
Sophie Wynn.
Second team All-State Eleanor. I knew that one. Claire, Gianna. All tournament team D, Sophie, Claire, Gianna. All scholastic team seniors with the 3.25 GPA D, Sophie, Claire, Gianna. I couldn't do the last names. I'm so glad they showed up.
Yeah, so that list speaks highly about how much the girls worked, how respected they were. They had great sportsmanship this year. We're gonna be really sad to lose seniors. First time we had to lose seniors. As they said last year, we didn't. So we do have some strong eighth years coming up, so we're looking good for next year as well. But yeah, it was a great season all around. No complaints. I was actually sad to see it go, sad to see them go, but looking forward to it next year.
Hard man to please too, let me tell you.
Yeah, I yell at them a lot, but they're great group of young ladies.
Joe? Well, congratulations on your season. I know it's tough when you get to that last game. It's sometimes easy to get blown out in the last game, than to lose 1-0, and it's.
We're gonna talk about that, Joe.
Yeah. But they still had a great season, you know, to come back stronger even next year, maybe. Yeah.
I believe, I don't know if Todd has been figured out, I believe you're the only Raymond High School girls team to go undefeated, so congratulations on that.
I believe that's the case. And also congratulations on just a great season regardless of win-loss, but great season.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. It's a lot of hard work.
Else? All right, well, congratulations and thank you. All right. I'll open public input. Anyone here for public input? We got here 6:35. Yes. Student representative to the school board, Mr. Harmon.
I don't really have much. The winter track started on Monday, so that's good. There was obviously a snow day yesterday. Hasn't really messed up the schedule, I don't think, for a lot of people. And today there wasn't that great of attendance because of the 2-hour delay, but that's about it. Everything's, you want like good reports? I mean,
Once in a while would be nice.
Well, 3 days, it's the last meeting, so wasn't a lot to go down.
I'll take it. All right, class of 27 senior trip.
This is a little early for this. However, this trip is unique. It's a trip that's been done in the past. However, it hasn't been done in a while. So before we got too far into the fundraising and the planning, we thought it'd be prudent to bring this trip forward at this time. Make sure you introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm for juniors, but I'm Nicole Amovich, treasurer of the class of 2027.
I'm Allie Bronson. I'm just a student representative. Sandra Swikewitz, one of the class advisors. I'm Allison McLaughlin, I'm a member of student council. Sarah Wilkins, a member of student council. I'm Annalise Heatherington, I'm the vice president.
I'm John Tang, I'm a member of student council. I'm Magnus Lloyd, I'm the president.
Do it again.
And Sandra Swikewitz, one of the co-advisors for this class. They're amazing to work with. I just want to thank you for allowing us to bring this trip forward so early, because they've really done a tremendous amount of planning for this and they're hoping to show that to you. So with that, I am turning it over to the students.
Hi again, my name is Anais. I'm the vice president of the class. So this trip, we've been working so hard to fundraise, and it's been our goal for the past 3 years. Ever since we were freshmen, we knew this was something we wanted, and we've been pushing hard. We've worked so hard, so thank you so much for your time, and we really appreciate you listening to our presentation today.
Okay, so we collected some data from our class. We sent everyone a survey, and about 82% of our class responded to it. Out of that 82%, a majority of them voted in favor for this trip to Florida. For some data from prior trips, there was about 7 that we know of that went to Florida. Most recently in 2019, where our advisor, Ms. Swikewitz, went. She was a chaperone for that trip. And then Mr. Ledoux, he was graduating class in the year 2000 when they went to Florida.
What year was that?
2000.
Okay.
The difference we actually noticed from prior years is they did get an extra travel day. And that's not necessarily something we're asking for, but we're just asking that for future years and for future senior trips, that when classes propose bigger trips, and depending on the distance, that we ask maybe consider an extra travel day, depending on how far their trip is.
Safety and security, we took this very seriously for our class. We're going to do head counts constantly, going to and from places, getting on and off buses. In the hotel, it has security that's watching us. And if not, advisors will have their doors open and they'll be awake, making sure nobody's leaving their rooms. Just to ensure that, we'll also have tape on the door similar to the DC trip. And everyone will be on the same floor in the hotel. When we go to parks and like shopping, stuff like that, students will be in groups no smaller than 3, just to make sure that you're always with somebody. We'll work out means of communication and check-ins when you get to that place. And no one is allowed to leave in any sort of transportation other than the provided buses that is given to us students.
Our pre-departure, we want to get this plan moving now because if we can, it will make paying for the trip more easy for the students instead of making a full payment the week prior of a trip. So they start making payments now like about $100. In step two, we want to meet with the parents of the students to go over the expectations and the rules of the trip before. Step three is a repeat of step two. It's just to really make sure the parents of the students know what's going to go on, what's the expectation from their kid. In step four, we're just going to make sure that everyone's IDs are checked and ready to go. Step five, all the forms and waivers are completed. In step six, as long as it's paying full, then we should be good to go on the trip.
Normally I wouldn't interject, but I just want to clarify just a little bit right here. That first meeting is really to go over how to budget for the trip. Again, to make it affordable, because we know it's one of the more expensive trips that we've seen in a while. But in the economy we live in, things are expensive. The second meeting is really to go over the nitty gritty. We'll nail down itinerary. The itinerary that we shared with you is a mock one for now. It is based on this year's prices. It is possible prices can change anywhere from 4 to 7%. Airfare could go up, airfare could go down. So where we're presenting so early, we just have to take that into consideration.
All right, this trip is really like a last learning opportunity as high schoolers to kind of prove our independence and how far we've grown in these past 4 years. So this will be some students' possibly first or last time to ever travel out of the Northeast and really like explore and, just experience new things. So this is a really main reason we chose this trip, and we think it'll be something cherished among all classmates.
Week of departure, we're just making sure students are not bringing any contraband onto the trip when we're taking off. And that's really it here. It's just to make sure everyone's safe and nothing bad's gonna happen on the trip when we're on. Again, this is the hotel we're gonna be staying at. They will provide us a free breakfast buffet every morning. And if there's time, students are allowed to go explore around the hotel and go try the activities around it.
For these next couple of slides, and basically it's just a layout for how the first day of the trip will go. We'll start off with a breakfast buffet in the morning at the hotel, which is included with the price. And we will arrive at Aquatica water park with the tickets distributed and the all-day dine wristbands, giving you full limited access to the food there, will all also be included with the price. And it'll just give us an opportunity to have fun, hang out with the rides. We'll departure from Aquatica after being there most of the day to get ready for the Grad Bash Universal. The Universal Grad Bash starts at 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. and it basically is for all senior groups around the country also attending to all have full access to the parks with no other people. There'll be a $25 food voucher that's also included. It just gives more of an opportunity to make new connections and for more fun memories with people who are not usually in your normal circle.
So day 2, Saturday, we'll be going to SeaWorld the majority of the day. We'll have an all-day food voucher, which will be a wristband. At SeaWorld, there'll be rides, games, and things to do there. Lots of memories and a lot of time to make connections there. At the very end of SeaWorld, unfortunately, back from SeaWorld to the hotel. When you arrive at the hotel, you'll be able to enjoy the amenities there, what the hotel offers, and some local shops and dining areas. We are making sure that there are groups of 3 at all times to ensure safety and to ensure like no one gets lost or anything like that happens, and that there's always someone that can call somebody.
So day 3, our last day in Orlando. It's our day to like recap on our memories, and we're just gonna pack up and we're gonna head back home to Boston.
Home sweet home, we'll be heading home. While heading home, we'll have a bus ride and a plane ride. And that's a great time to reflect on the trip, really hold those memories close to us. The trip was a great time to make connections and really learn different things about different places that some people don't have the opportunity to do. And altogether, it's a great time for reflection.
As was stated by Ms. Swikowitz, this trip is on the price heavy side. Estimates are about $1,525 per person. But do keep in mind, this includes several things such as tickets, stipend, meals, bus, and airfares. The only thing that's not included with the price package is counselor airfares, but given our class funds, we can use that to pay for those fares, and any remaining funds can be used to reduce student costs.
That's it.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of time putting this together. And they're not joking when they say that this has been their goal since they were freshmen. They have been working toward this for a long time. Nick, can you just maybe recap a little bit in terms of our budget and what our fundraising has looked like?
Of course, yes. So I believe last year or freshman year, we raised about $4,000. And after prom and up to our senior year, we should be projected about $10,000 to fundraise, maybe even more than that. So we're in a very good spot money wise.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Comment. Sounds like it's very well planned out. Is most of the class going?
Right now, it looks like about of the students who responded, and let me just go back to that slide, so I'm not misquoting numbers. We had 59 responses out of 72 people, and 82%, that's 82% of the students responding to the survey. And of that percentage, 80, I can't read it. Yeah, 82, 83% said that they, or no, 86% would like to go. So I think that, and just for a little more, when we went in 2019, we took 72 seniors on that trip. I don't know how many were in that class, but I know that it was the bulk of the class. And a trip like this, what we have seen is it tends to draw more people than some of the smaller trips that we've done.
So was that, so for the voting, did they have the numbers and, the money for how much it would cost?
Yes.
Okay.
We gave them the same presentation.
Thank you.
My only question is the 1525 numbers based on quad occupancy.
Yes,
Do they have 4-bed rooms?
yes.
Okay.
And they'll be allowed to choose who they're partnering with. Similar to what they did in DC. Yes, and we have the bulk of our chaperones lined up. I think we only need one more.
Do we want to go to Florida?
I've actually been there when they've had the graduation bashes. They do it almost for a whole month. I mean, they have a lot of schools. I mean, I think it's great what they do. I'm just worried that the kids voted on this, and I probably would have voted for anything when I was a senior, going to senior class that was like this. I just hope the parents are on board with this. That's my only issue right now, is that are the parents really knowing how much it's going to cost?
From my experience back in 2019, it was really up to the students to make the decision as to where they wanted to go first. And then we bring it to the parents. Also, from what I remember from 2019, the bulk of the seniors paid for most of the trip themselves. Most of them are working. That's why it's so important that we give them about 12 to 14 months to pay it. There were a lot of parents who did half and half. So again, by giving them this amount of time, it allows people to budget so that they can afford it.
I mean, it is a very interesting trip. I mean, it's very safe. They have police everywhere. The park is open until 2:00 in the morning, which is actually unusual for Universal, but it's kind of cool for the kids, so.
I mean, for myself, I have a student in this class. I can tell you as a parent, it's the trip I want my son to leave Raymond High School with. I run into students all over town. One of them works right at McDonald's, and I went through the drive-through about 2 weeks ago, and he's like, I was thinking about the class trip. So it is one of those things they're going to talk about for a very, very long time. The Brazos have done that. So I was just talking to Mrs. Brazo the other day, and her son Nick, because I was a chaperone for his class, and he still talks about the trip. So yeah, we know it's pricey, but it's all inclusive. There's very little here. They'll need to pay for food when they're in the airport. They might want some extra food on grad bash night, but our hope is that because it's so inclusive in the price, that they don't need to bring a ton of spending cash to pay for things outside of it. So I think that's probably the most important thing to me, that yes, it's expensive, but for what they're getting, it's a lot. And that's something that they, we've discussed at nauseam at this point, so.
Have you checked with any airlines yet? That's gonna be
We
your,
don't have to do any of that. That quote, we are working with a company. And the company organizes everything. So this is not piecemeal. Like, this really is a cohesive package. That's why I said that it could change between 4% and 7%. That percentage includes the cost and park prices going up between this year and next year, because this won't book until the springtime. But that's also why we need approval so soon, because it fills up. I literally, when I was talking to the travel agent, the company that we're working with, and she said, usually you have about a week to book this thing. It fills up that quickly, and all over the United States, California, Washington, Colorado. I mean, people fly in from all over the US. This is a pinnacle trip. It's a big deal.
Just a few things. One is, I did go to Florida on my senior class trip. I had a great time. So you folks hopefully will have a great time.
2000.
Beat Terry to it. No, I was a little before. The security that is mentioned, is that already included in that price? It is included. And the taping of the doors will definitely be done at night. Thank you. I have concerns about the prices, but I understand that's also part of the experience, not the experience, but just to get there. We went on a bus. We spent a day a bus down and a day bus back. It's not a great time.
And honestly, the bus isn't much cheaper.
Yeah, regardless, it's just, that was an experience in itself. But it was great to hang out with the fellow classmates. So those were my concerns, just that I just want to make sure the security is in place and is
Yes.
part of the price.
Yeah, the only thing not included in the price is the transportation from Raymond High School to the airport and back, which the class will cover out of class funds. And then the airfare for the chaperones. Everything else for the chaperones is covered. For every 10 students, 2 occupancy, hotel room, tickets, and everything for the parks is covered in. So the plan is to pay for the buses to and from the airport, to pay for the chaperones airfare, and anything else we have left will be used to reduce the cost of the student price. We just can't put a number to that right now.
So is that the number for chaperones, 2 for every 10 students?
Yes, typically. And I think that's what we had last time as well.
Wait a minute. I think it's 1 for 10, right?
yeah.
Oh, well, all right, 1 for 10, but the price includes up to 2 for every 10.
I'm not gonna argue with what the price is. I just know.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Okay, well, that's why,
The requirement, I believe, is 1 for 10, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Just so that,
yeah, that's why I was asking.
It's gonna be 1 to 5 instead of 2 to 10, just 1 to 5.
Thanks, Todd.
I over here, huh?
A little fraction support.
Oh, Ohio math there.
I'll make a motion to accept the class trip as presented for the class of 2027.
second, just a quick question. It wasn't mentioned, but do you have a sense as to when you're going?
It will be in April. We're aiming for an earlier date in April because we know airfare is significantly cheaper. So it really could be anywhere from in and around April 10th up
Yep.
through the end of April.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Ms. Sess.
Anyone else? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. Congratulations, yeah.
Nice work. That's a lot of work. Congrats.
All right, where are we now? All right, Raymond High School Principal's Report.
How about you guys? But these are like my favorites. I don't know. I love these.
What?
Yeah.
The high school report?
Yeah, apple doesn't fall far from the tree, baby.
All right. He's a numbers guy.
It's Mr. Danimal.
Hey, I'm pretty special.
How was that game Monday night?
Huh?
How was the game Monday night?
You know, cold, let's just.
Okay.
It's cold.
Well,
Yeah, the Giants Patriots game.
it was an awesome game.
Oh,
You're a
sorry.
Giants fan?
Yeah,
Well, it wasn't an awesome game. but-
Lifelong connection, it's okay.
it is. I've been suffering in a very long time.
His father-in-law has that same problem.
Say give Bill Belichick. I like your father-in-law. He's a nice guy.
I think though, they only want to beat him twice.
Yeah, and I'll take that to the bank and that's all I have now.
Was it 18-1?
I keep bringing up 1975.
The quarterback got pretty slammed.
What a bozo. I can't believe he did that.
What concussions he's got?
And he takes that hit on the sidelines.
Patriots came out hot.
Yep.
So what do we got here?
Steven?
Sport.
Late night game.
I keep making it late.
No.
Especially when they had the double Monday night game. Stuff like that.
I know they do like at 10 o'clock or 10.
Yeah, 10 o'clock at night. It's like, give me a break. I know. It's the entire East Coast is not watching.
Give me a second chance to get those parlays in. Love the West Coast.
Yeah, the screen there button is just not pushing anything over. I just tried to unplug it.
Yeah, I do that.
There you go.
That's the emails from your account. Well, good evening, thank you. We'll go over the quarter one board report to the board here. Okay, so we've had a, fairly decent start to the school year this year. A couple highlights, to touch base on the coming weekend was, full schedule of events for all of our teams, which was nice. No scrambling around like we had to last year. We were a little earlier this year than anticipated because of some scheduling with the NHIAA. So that made a little bit of a challenge for the homecoming parade with all the floats to get done in about 2.5 weeks. But things went very, very good as far as early on this year. Athletic, we had a great athletic season, teams advancing, moving into the NHIAA playoffs, and we sent a number of students from individual sports, cross country, onto the NHIAA as well. We are piloting a new club this year, Spanish club, so we're really excited about that. Turnout for that's been great. Ms. Moya, our Spanish teacher, she's hosting that, running 2 meetings minimum every month, and kids are doing a great job with it. Lots of positive feedback from that. Acknowledgement, just want to touch base with, the amount of work that our, I'm glad Todd's not here, not listening to this, but our buildings and grounds crew does every summer to ready this building. When we come in the fall, it is spectacular. Like, things look amazing. And even now throughout the school year, they're always on top of things. I've walked through this place and it's like, and I really mean this, it is cleaner than any other high school I've ever been in my career. Mary Shea takes a lot of pride in the work she does here, and that's, outstanding. We love that as a whole. Some updates on winter sports tryouts are now complete and the seasons are underway. We got scrimmages starting this Friday. I think we got one going on. But due to the number of enrollments we've had, we've actually added a girls JV basketball team this year back. So we've got boys and girls JV teams.
We have wrestling, bowling, our spirit cheer team, and indoor track. So yeah, we're, definitely moving along with that. We parent teacher conferences, touch base about that. We did have first time with the parent teacher conferences set up the way they are as far as coming in at noon, scheduling the meetings, and then going through 7:30 at night. This year, we had 225 meetings scheduled and 209 actually held. Now, that's a pretty good number. We went back and looked at last year's numbers for what we did during parent teacher conferences. In November of last year, we had, 92.8% attendance for this year from the ones that were scheduled. Last year, so the fall of 24-25, we had 250 meetings scheduled and 210 actually held for 84%. So we had 8 percentage points higher attending this year than last year with the new format. Some challenges, just getting back into the routines of things here, scheduling and whatnot, learning and adjusting to some new staff and personnel. And then, I hate to say it, but student bathrooms is still a challenge. We are addressing it. We're in the bathrooms as much as we can be between periods, especially during lunch and RAM times. We are trying, everything that we can think of. We've done the closing the bathrooms and alternating them, things along those lines. But it does become tough. And then when it's between periods, we do know there are kids who do have to go to the bathroom. So that's the time they're using it. So that's when we're finding the largest number of kids in there, but we're trying to, get them in and get them out and get them going to classes. But again, that just does remain one of our biggest challenges there. Our discipline numbers are, definitely up a little bit. For quarter one.
Scroll to that.
Sorry about that. There you go. So quarter one totals this year. Total referrals 552, and most of those are now once again coming from our freshman class again. But the sophomores, they do have, their numbers are going down, which is nice. Since last year, they were the ones with the very large numbers. So we are working a lot of the trainings we're doing. Does seem to help. It's, a lot of it's a core group of kids that we're really, trying to focus on and addressing and working with them and providing leadership skills and whatnot for them.
Yeah, the freshmen, the true freshmen, or by sophomores who are freshmen?
This could be the mix. So sophomores who have stayed back or not yet received the adequate number of credits to move on to full sophomore status. Top 5 infractions, defiance, skipping class, tech violations, which is usually the phone. Sometimes it's a computer thing, which we've ran into a little bit of that recently. Disruptions, and then tardies are top 5. Year-to-date totals, obviously the same as quarter one, but that year-to-date total will be a running total. That'll stay on there, for quarter 2, 3, and then the end of the year report. We had no official bullying reports this first quarter, which is great. On the high positive stuff, we did have 152 students make the honor roll for quarter one. 58 of them made the principals list, and 94 of them made the honor roll. So only 152, which is outstanding. We have a list of our upcoming events and what we have going on. There's one change on here, I believe. Well, it's in December 1. The Rotary breakfast was supposed to be this morning, but due to the weather and everything, that is now going to be the 17th of December. And it's been confirmed. Michelle Cass is addressing that. Yes, sir.
For the uninclined, what is the Rotary breakfast again?
That is, the band is putting that on. So Mr. Lacasse does it through the band where they invite the Rotary in and to provide breakfast for them. They, I believe, cook a lot of it the night before and then bring it in and set up. And the band will, of course, will play and sing a little bit for them as well.
That was moved to the 17th.
Yes, the 17th. Here are current enrollment numbers as of the end of Q1. Jump down, skip academic data for right now. We'll hit the attendance data. So we'll take a quick peek at that. Typically, it's about average for what we see. This is more so for freshmen, yet tardies more so for the upperclassmen coming in late. And then transportation issues. We did have 3 games this fall. During the school day, no issues with transportation. All our issues came after the school day, looking for athletic transportation. We did have 3 events where there was no transportation, a girls' soccer and then 2 volleyball games. This winter, most everything is covered. We do have still 3 games needing transportation. Girls basketball, and 2 boys basketball, with Mr. Gaudet, athletic director, still working on doing everything he can to fill those voids. Academic data.
The discipline data.
Yes.
Have we seen numbers like the senior class that low?
Historically, have we,
Yeah, it just seems, doesn't, I don't want to say it's bad, but it just seems like it's low, which is great. And I just don't remember it being that low. Maybe it's been that way before. I don't know.
Seniors typically do have the lower number, yes.
Yes.
This low, I'd have to go back and check.
Yeah, it just seems,
the last couple of years.
which is a compliment to the.
Yeah, honestly, we really do have very few issues with our seniors. Like that I can say, but I can give a look to see if that's what, traditionally one expects.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Harmon.
Not to toot our own horn, but usually throughout the years, through the high school years, our grade has been pretty chiller, I guess is the right word. Definitely around the sophomore year. A lot of this senior year has, a lot of the seniors have definitely mellowed out. So congratulations to them.
I haven't been yet old.
And Ethan, when it's a positive, by all means, toot your own horn.
Yeah, I said I bring it up if it's not so good, so I got to bring it up if it looks good.
Yep. Nope. I hear you.
Well, I got a question about that. So
Yes.
would the new cell phone law have any part in that increase? Like, would that fall under defiance or tech or?
Yeah, it starts off as a
Corruption.
tech violation. So if they get sent to the office, it does get, a tech referral put in. If it turns into something that they're refusing to leave the classroom, if they're refusing to turn their phone in, then it gets.
If it escalates from the initial cell phone infraction, then it could be 3 of these, right?
Yeah, there could be a few because of the overlap.
Multiple charges, so to speak, right?
So one student could have both a tech violation and a defiance violation for the same incident about refusing to not use a phone.
Disruption potentially?
Yeah, and disruption,
Okay.
depending on how it's logged in. But as far as the disruption versus the defiance, Ms. McCann does a good job going in and, make sure that if it becomes a defiance situation that it does, and they have disruption logged, she'll go in and address it to make sure it does reflect accurately. But yeah, you could have a dual thing on there.
Yeah.
As the tech violation does escalate.
Okay, thank you.
I feel like the skipping class is kind of high. You seen an increase in that?
I don't remember that one. Yeah, that seems very high.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot.
Increase in that, yeah.
A lot more kids, trying to where you're supposed to be. Okay, let's get to class. Then when let's go to the office, find out where you're supposed to be. And yeah,
Skipping class to use their phone, to be honest with you.
That's a long, like, those block schedules, that's a long time to walk.
Not block anymore, they're pretty short.
Half the week, right?
The length of classes,
68 minutes is
yeah,
long.
that's not too bad. About 45 like our day.
Yeah. My class was like 28 minutes.
Somebody was missing half the class. 28 minutes.
Like 12 a day. All right, Mr. Harmon again.
I will have to say for the phone usage, from what I've seen, definitely from the upperclassmen, the rules have been pretty. I like this, but they've been pretty relaxed, definitely on the more of the upperclassmen side, and usually, there hasn't been a lot of issues. From what I've seen, but by the upperclassmen with the phones, and if there is, they just usually just told to put their phone away, and they almost always do. So, and I think also probably a big hotspot for the skipping classes is definitely the library. I mean, every single time I have study hall in the first block and 7 block, and I get a lot of visitors there. Mr. Lemoyne usually takes care of them, but like it's kind of hard to decipher if they're actually supposed to be there, because sometimes people just show up without a pass, but they have a good reason to be there. That's just one place I know people would be going, but Mr. Lemoyne has been getting increasingly more stricter about that, which has been nice for me. I don't know about them, but yeah.
Yeah, I will say as far as the phone thing goes, that the overwhelming majority, like by far overwhelming majority, you ask them to put away, it's gone, doesn't come back out. Or if it comes back out, it's not till, much later. It's like truly the overwhelming majority of the kids are outstanding with it.
That's good to hear.
All right, anyone else on discipline? All right. Okay.
And then just a quick peek at our grades here. You have all of that there. Looking at it, I think when looking at some attendance stuff and the overall grade as far as where discipline lies, it does tie into a lot of the lower grades here. And that's something we still aim to be working on. We know when we're not in class, when we're skipping class, or getting kicked out of a class for whatever reason, you're not getting the material, despite it, teachers, emailing it or informing them that it is on the Google Classroom, they can get to it. A lot of them, don't follow through and get that stuff done, and it does reflect.
Question about English and more about the senior class. What is the rule? I know they have to have 4 years of English. Can they take 4 years within 3 years? Or does it have to be one English class every year?
Typically, it's one each year, unless they're on some type of accelerated program.
The reason I ask is because there's 74 in seniors in English, and there's 78, I think, seniors. And that's why I was just curious as to, I couldn't remember the law, and I know math, you have to do it. Well, if you're here for 5 years, you have to take a math for 5 years.
Yeah.
And things like that. I just wasn't sure about English. Thank you.
Yep, and this also goes by not original year of graduation. This goes based on their credit wise level. So, you might see a little bit of differentiation there as well.
Yeah, the actual there, you've got enrollment of 78 seniors. So.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the state, it's just you have to take 4 English classes in high school. I don't think you have to take one every year, because some kids
Four
take.
credits, but you typically would do the year long, because you have to do the full credit.
Yeah, that's what you'll take VLAX now and stuff.
Yeah, and that,
Double
again, that
hundred
would
English
be
class.
some type of alternative thing. Yes, you would typically be taking the 4 across, but there are circumstances that don't fall into that.
Yeah, that's what I was getting.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was like math or if it's you take 4 regardless of when.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep.
So for being exempt for finals, is it just you have to have senior credits, or is it that you actually have to be a senior?
You're going to test me on this. Without looking, going to be very pressed to give you an exact answer, but I believe you have to have senior credits.
Okay, okay, that's what I thought. I just,
Finding out your mid-year?
I said, oh, yeah. Yes, I was. I have to. Okay.
The questions? Nope.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pete. Pete.
I know those quick emails like 5 times. Yeah. Thank you. You guys have a great night.
You too.
Well, thank you. Be good.
Director of Health and Wellness, thank you for having me. I'm sorry I missed my last board presentation, but I'm happy to be here tonight. It's gonna throw me out, so give me a second. Get rid of this screen. So today I'm going to do a quick presentation and something about the cord. Let's see. A quick presentation because I also gave you guys some additional information, which you see in the slide deck that I'm not going to go over tonight, but you guys have the data as part of that slide. You're welcome to ask questions, but just for you to be aware, I'm going to go over the first few slides here. So I haven't actually come to you guys since I think right before school started. So we've got a lot of work happening since then. So we have a lot of our health and wellness meetings off the ground, meeting in a structured way, either monthly, quarterly, including our behavioral health advisory team, our school level tier 1 or student intervention teams. I also meet with the state in different topics, including MTSSB implementation and some grant technical assistance meetings. And then also I go to the coalition meeting here in Raymond as well. Really happy with our behavioral health department this year. It's been really fun. Our department is just getting a lot of kudos from teachers, administrators, just on their expertise and what they can bring to the table. I think teachers are feeling supported by the teams they have in place within behavioral health. Just awesome to hear. It's a very collaborative team. And we also have 2 social work interns this year that have been awesome. I have my own intern that helps me with all the projects, which I really appreciate. So they're helping us advance the work in a free way other than just time. So that's been great. I've been focusing a lot on some systems improvements specifically related to McKinney-Vento, our homelessness population, supporting that population just from the back end in terms of our documentation, our teaming and our social work department to support these families. And then also we switched to a new 504 plan software that our school counselors are now in and trained in and using, and we're part of the decision to move to this platform, and with any platform hesitant, but now they are finding that it is helping them with efficiencies and accountabilities. So really excited about that advancement in our 504 plan world. And our counselors, myself, and some of our administrators went to a recent Drummond and Woodson training around 504s as well, which is great. And then I continue to help support our title funds. Now that we have Josh Borky, the curriculum coordinator, he and I really have been tag teaming. I'm helping him kind of onboard to grant procedures and writing and all the things. But it's been great to work with him to kind of plan for the use of our grant this year, and then looking at next year, depending on what kind of happens with that. And then I also manage our student assistance program grant, which supports our student assistance counselors and a lot of our substance misuse prevention and suicide prevention activities across the district. Our Youth Well grant supports our Renew intervention at the high school and Promising Futures. We did apply for again this year, and we're provided that grant 2 years in a row, which is huge. And that's been supporting a lot of our professional development and behavioral health. It's been great. Zoning in on the behavioral health advisory team. Again, this is a district level team that really supports MTSSB implementation, social emotional behavioral health initiatives across the district. In September and October, we do a deep data analysis looking at all sorts of different data points to really figure out where our strengths in this work, where our weaknesses, and what do we want to focus on, right? To develop our priorities of our work.
I will call out one data point in there. And you guys have seen a lot of this data in different pieces over the last year, whether it be through me or the principals. But the fidelity inventory results, MTSSP fidelity inventory you have later in the slide deck. That inventory, that survey we've been doing for a handful of years. And so you can see the progression of the work over time. Is really neat to see kind of that growth that continues to happen. But all of these data points are an opportunity for us to kind of step back and analyze what are we doing and is it working? And what do we still want to work on? So the team decided to maintain our priorities that we had last year, which was implementation of restorative practices and continuing to advance our crisis response procedures. So we now November and December really are zoning in on that for this year, right? What do we want that to look like? What steps do we still need to take while also taking steps that we're already working on? So just some updates related to those priority areas for restorative practices. We now have 56 staff across the district trained in Tier 1 practices, which is a 2-day training. So that's kind of a big lift, and we're excited about that number. And then our middle school also did an overview with those same trainers for all of their staff, which I think was received well. But most importantly, what's been really neat to hear about over the last, few months with school starting is different circles in practice. So this work actually in practice, whether it be in staff meetings to build culture and community, or with student and staff, or admin and student, or behavioral health mediation between student and teacher. We actually have a family that comes in every week for a circle with their student, with their team, to essentially proactively plan and have that student's voice be heard at the elementary school. So we're seeing these circles and these strategies being run between all across the district. I'm hearing success at the elementary and also in high school classrooms as well. We have a teacher who's shared some wins with me with their restorative practice circle implementation. So what's really neat about restorative practice is it really pushes like boots on the ground, right? We as administrators really believe in this work, but we want our staff to also believe in it and implement it. So to hear about the stories has been great. So we're really now at that place of like, how can we continue to infuse these conversations in this work in the district in a strategic, aligned, consistent way, while also really wanting to go at the pace of our staff and people who have been trained, right? We can't be top down. That's not the way it works. So really trying to go at the rate that our people, our staff, our community is ready for. And then crisis response procedures. We successfully trained all of our staff in suicide prevention so far this year. We also have a group of student leaders, which I know you heard from a couple of board meetings ago, that are prepared now to train their peers in suicide prevention, which is an exciting step forward. And the middle school is also getting Signs of Suicide, which is a suicide prevention program as well. We had a crisis postvention training in August for administrators in behavioral health. Myself, Todd Ledoux, and one of our social workers, Abby Aldis, went to a training at the state on disaster behavioral health response, which is essentially the state behavioral health response. So if we had a crisis or a disaster that was beyond our internal capacity to support, we could call in this state team, which now we're also a part of, for more behavioral health support. So it was really good to learn those protocols and learn about how we could lean on them and utilize them as well if something were to happen here. We are in like the final phase of our reentry protocols, which is essentially if a kiddo leaves school due to a crisis, has to go to the hospital as an example, due to a mental health crisis, our reentry protocols are set up so that way we can welcome and support that student when they come back, to keep them safe and again supported when they come back. So that's been a lot of work, a lot of lift, but we're almost there. And then we've been putting a lot of time into researching threat assessment protocols, and we're going to have some staff trained in an evidence-based protocol so we can continue to advance our work in that area. And then continuing to think about and talk about how do we get better at crisis debriefing. So when mental health, behavioral health crises happen, how do we pull the team together to talk about what worked, what didn't work, how can we improve? So we're just working on procedures related to that. Success stories. I'm going to give you kind of a larger system success story and then more student specific success story. So the larger one, with the holidays and the winter and the cold weather, I wanted to extend.
Touch the cord.
Mhm.
That you need that slide, but. with the holidays and the winter season, we wanted to kind of extend a gratitude to a lot of people who have been helping us in this community to support our families. So we've been able to support hundreds of families with access to food, Thanksgiving meals, holiday gifts, warm clothing. So I want to thank the Exeter Community Children's Fund, Raymond American Legion, Walmart Distribution Center, LRES PTO, Raymond and 68 Hours of Hunger, Bethany Church, the Coalition, and many other individual donors for all of their generosity for our families. Our social work team has been working like double time, coordinating resources for our families in need this season. Just before Thanksgiving, they were out delivering turkeys to families that needed it. So just want to thank all of our partners in the community and our social work team and our nurses for making sure our families have what they need. And also say, if anyone has any needs this winter season, please reach out to our social work department because we have a lot of resource connections, which we're thankful for. And then a more individual kind of student success story. So I guess it was a couple months ago now, time flies. But I was in the middle school SIT meeting, our student intervention team meeting, and a couple of kids were on the agenda. And the way that it works is so kids are on the agenda, and for each student, a teacher will come into the meeting, right? And in the meeting, it's the administrator, it's behavioral health specialist, academic interventionist, and then the teacher. And so typically the meeting starts off by the teacher, how's it going for this kid? And so these two kids were in SIT progress monitoring because they were previously on SIT last year, years before, and they've been monitored by the SIT team for quite a while. They were kids that really struggled at the elementary school. When they got to the middle school, they were connected to the SEL program at the middle school. They'd been in and out of individual counseling, group counseling, check in, check out, behavior support plans with the BCBA. Like these were kids that have had a little bit of everything over the last few years, right? And so you never know, right? When a kid enters a new school year with a new teacher, you see progress over time, surely, but it was like a very obvious point of progress when a teacher came in. Again, these are two separate kids, two separate teachers, but one kid said, so-and-so is a model student in my class. And another teacher said, so-and-so is a pleasure to have in class. They are so engaged. So for both these kids, and it happened to be the same meeting that they were on the agenda for both these kids, it was almost like everyone in the room was speechless to really sit back and reflect like, wow, look where these kids are now, thinking all the things that they had to do as a team to work to get the kids to where they were, and for the kids to engage and the families to engage in this process. It was just, again, two wonderful kind of success stories. And so those kids have been discharged from SIT progress monitoring. They no longer have that huge team around them to support them because they're doing good work. So those were just some successes I wanted to share.
Awesome.
And that's all I had for today. The rest is all for you guys to kind of look at and digest. And feel free.
With McKinney-Vento.
Yeah.
I know with the new law coming out, they want to try to put everything in a block grant. Are we gonna have to go to the state for that afterwards? I mean, I know that might be for Jody, who knows?
Yeah, a little bit of who knows. We'll see. I don't know enough about it yet. But
I mean, I know the transfer over the labor department's gone so smooth. Joking about that.
there's definitely fear in that community and everyone who serves that community in terms of what will happen. I don't know.
For those who don't know, it's called McKinney-Vento because way back in 40 years ago, almost now, is the act that, well, actually would have been president. Wasn't Reagan, it was,
Carter, Reagan, Bush.
Bush, it was Bush. It was the first year, I think, of Bush that he signed it, so, well, last year, Reagan, one of the two. We should call it something else now, because a lot of people don't know what it's for.
Yeah.
I know it does help out a lot of kids that are, in between where they're gonna be for hopefully the rest of their lives or several years instead of hopping around like going from one place to the other all the time.
For sure.
It does give them a place where they can go to school.
Yes, yeah, it protects them for sure. Yeah, we currently have 12 students who are eligible for McKinney-Vento.
So, got a question about that. You got something, Terry?
No, I just, speaking of that, something I just saw, I need to see more on that very topic.
Yeah, so, are we seeing an increase in, the people that are eligible for that, or is it staying steady, would you say, or is there more people that are coming out and needing that?
Yeah, I would say there's an increase. I mean, that is within the state. If you look at some state data, there's definitely an increase in Raymond. We've seen an increase as well. Last year, because I looked, last year at this time, or like last month, I guess, when I pulled this data, we had 3 students who were eligible. We're already at 12. And eligibility can kick in at any point in the year, right? If someone were to move in or unstable during the year. So we're already kind of ahead of where we were again, or it might stop. Who knows, right? It's hard to know. But
To your
we're-
point, it can literally happen overnight.
Yep, it literally happened overnight. Yeah.
I want to push about the state crisis response team. Now, who is running that? Is that like a state police thing or a DOE, or who would be
Yeah, so it's
the,
Health and Human Services that oversees the disaster behavioral response team process. So there is I remember his title, but he runs this program. There's actually 2 of them, but so essentially the way that it works is if there's a disaster, it doesn't have to just be in a school, it could be in a community, and that community needs an extra behavioral health response. You tag that line and they'll send whoever, how many we need based on the crisis. It could be because of a flood. It could, it could be many reasons, but it just allows for behavioral health support.
and one more, is there a need for like warm clothes and stuff for students in the district that you're aware of? I mean, there probably always is, but like,
Yeah, always. Yes, right now we're doing okay. We got a big donation. So I know our social workers and our nurses have sizes on hand. If we have a family we don't have a size for, usually we can reach out to like the coalition, they can find something. So right now we're okay. But we have had increased requests this year of resource needs for families.
Maybe it's just me, but I think the resources for people who, closer to the poverty level have kind of diminished over, especially the last 6 months. I mean, even with the the school freedom accounts here, it just came out today that, most of the people that they were targeting for the lower income people are getting less of that now because because they took away all the eligibility requirements, and now people who don't need it are getting it instead.
I'm shocked.
the state did something that didn't work.
Well, they were targeting a certain group. And it went to the group that needs it the least. I'm flabbergasted that could have happened. On a positive note,
John?
on your slides that we're not seeing tonight.
Yeah.
I wanted to compliment your group because there are positive numbers there. And specifically the overall integration with Seacoast is at 75% fidelity, which is your goal. So that's great. The others are trending all in that same direction. So I think it's important that we, in addition to the individual success stories you shared, a group success story should be shared also. The one thing I will follow up with is when we get close to 75 or at 75, do you then move that target up?
So that target, the 75, is fidelity based on that inventory that the state developed, right? So of course, right? Like we don't want to just stay at 75. We always want to do better. But what I say to the teams too, when they're filling out the surveys is we're going to have times that we go up. We're going to have times that we go down, right? Because there's going to be turnover. There's going to be change in funding. There's just going to be things, factors that impact. As long as overall we're progressing, right, over time, and that we're stable, we get to a stability place over that fidelity mark. Yeah, because it's never gonna be 100. If we get there, amazing, but that's not an expectation I have. I shouldn't say that maybe. 100.
We gotta be realistic also,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yes,
For this,
yeah. And that's not just, I want to highlight, that's not just like my team, my department, that's like across the district, a whole bunch of people working together.
Right, exactly.
This work.
yeah, it's not in your group necessarily, it's the
The collective,
district.
Yeah.
So, great job.
including all of you. Yeah.
On the last slide, I know you have a new program for the 504 plans.
Yeah.
Guessing we had to pay for that, or is this go directly to the state, the reports?
No, it's through student services. If you, Jody, I can answer what budget, where that comes from, but we had to pay for it.
Does that directly go to the state for? Or is that just for us?
The actual.
The reporting
software.
part of it.
Data?
So we can pull, so a report does go to the state for the number of 504s, or Jennifer always asks me for a number, so I get the data from there to send to the state, yeah.
All right, can I ask a question? We're gonna get bombarded. Now, is that just generalized data that's being shared or given, not based on individual students? Because people will ask about that because they're concerned about their student privacy.
Identifiable, just.
Yeah. So it's just 12 kids, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Thank you. Because I'll get asked about that.
Oh, yeah. No, PII, that's important.
Mhm. That's it. Thanks,
Nice work.
Sam. No, I'd like to take a moment to thank her for coming to my Thanksgiving thing, and it was,
How did it go?
it was all right. Could use some more people, but it was a decent day.
This year's always a little. tough.
Yeah,
A lot
you
of
know.
people don't know about it yet. so.
Like Woodstock.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Problem there. I get
Tony, similar vibe. I have 3 jokes I can't say in public.
That's good.
All right, so now we're out. Yeah.
The school program.
School program.
So we need to start to discuss a plan moving forward, because if we don't get the grant, that's money. We decided not to fund it through the budget, which is fine. But I find very few elementary and / middle schools who don't have some sort of after-school program, whether it's run through the YMCA, Boys Club, Rec Department, or an outside agency or another nonprofit that comes in and takes the program over. So what I guess I'm asking for you is from some guidance. I've been playing, I gotta tell myself, I'm frustrated that I haven't gotten any answers yet, because I've reached out to the town administrator, but I also realized too that, well, it's vacation. It's only been 2 days of work because Thanksgiving's in there too, so I need to slow my roll a little bit. So what
I mean, if this is something that you need, I can.
no, what I'm saying is that he's been on vacation and it's been only 2 days.
Tomorrow, yeah.
No,
Tomorrow.
please don't.
Tomorrow.
No.
8 AM.
No, so what I'm saying is that my goal is to reach out to them first. If, and does the rec want to take the program over? That would be the easiest thing to do. However, that's also a big burden on the town, to come up with a plan and develop it and start hiring people and run it through themselves. If not, if they're like, no, then what would we like to do? Do we want to go out to bid? To bring in another nonprofit or another organization to come in here and, run our after school program. And once I get the yes, then I would start doing a little more background as to what that would look like. What type of MOU would we have to develop? What's our next steps?
The current cost is what?
Current cost is what? I think we need to come up with $350,000,
That's for just the after school?
before and after.
Our current budget for the after-school program is 165%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was confused a little bit because it was my understanding that we have money in the budget going forward for 26, 27.
That is the money that we normally put in under the assumption that we will get the grant, which we are entitled to for a 5th year.
Right.
Unless Washington changes their mind and just cuts the whole thing. So
I'll wipe my shocked look off for the second time. So we do have money. It's a matter of how, because we didn't take it away as a board. So it's still there. So the question becomes, in my mind, the way I looked at this when we did budget, at least that's where I looked at it, was if we don't touch it, it's there.
We don't have enough.
No, there's not.
Right, but it's the revenue that we don't have enough.
Correct.
And the proposal was to charge what, $350
Yep.
ballpark? And to me, I assume that's what we're doing.
Oh, I heard a hard no on that, to be honest with you, that we didn't want to do that. Because I think that we had to put
I
it,
didn't like it, but I also didn't like
Is
the
that
other
vote?
options.
Did we vote on that?
We didn't make
you
any,
understand that, Pat? You understand?
because again, we didn't change it.
Okay,
So in my mind, that means it's still in there.
Yeah, I didn't take it out.
I didn't take it out, but I know that there wasn't enough money in there and we were asking to put more money in it to make sure that we had it covered. I
But
didn't
what
see
we
that.
had in the budget was what we're expecting to get from the grant. Right? The money in the budget isn't there per se. It's grant money. So I think the question is, what happens if the grant money doesn't show up?
Yeah.
Now we have a line item we can't fulfill because the grant didn't come in, the revenue.
The line item didn't change.
Right, it was $25,000 if, right?
Yep.
And that's that's the line item, it's still there.
Yeah.
So that means assume we're gonna run the program, that's in my mind,
Okay.
and that we're gonna have to charge people if we don't get the,
I guess we misunderstood then.
that's the way I read the
I
situation.
guess we need to get some clarity on that we're willing,
What we had to do.
Can I
approximately 300 some odd dollars.
can I ask the obvious question? When do we find out whether we get the grant or not?
Tony, it could be,
So after we would have already ran the program?
For this current year, it wasn't confirmed until July 21st. They were supposed to have, the funds were supposed to be released June 30th. On June 29th or maybe June 30th. The US Department of Education withheld or froze funding across the nation.
Okay.
For a review of the programs to make sure they aligned with the president's priorities. It went to court. Well, it was filed as a lawsuit. It never actually made it to court before they ended up releasing them. So we're just using this recent history to come up with contingency.
and the reason the money was released because the money was already appropriated by Congress.
We're
This year, the money has not been appropriated.
operating under the assumption that it won't be available even potentially.
What do we do if it's not?
Wanted to stop it last year. He will be legally able to stop it. It'll be easier for him to do that.
Yeah.
That's that's our conundrum.
Zero of that line.
And the grant is 25.
2016 to 2020, they tried to eliminate entirely all 4 years and it was put back in with bipartisan support. Bipartisanship isn't quite what it is now. We'll see what happens if they try to take it out and what kind of support Congress gives it, but
So
right
I
now
guess
we're just.
Pat and I didn't understand. I don't think Marjorie understood. What we're saying is that we're good to go with the money in. Okay, well, I'm kind of
So
asking right now.
the grant that we are questioning is the value of that grant is 25,000. Is that correct? How much is
The
the,
grant is 330,000.
So the grant we-
25,000.
so the only question mark really would be, what do we do with the 325 if we don't get the grant? How do
We would have to generate, that's the $350 to generate the revenue. We wouldn't have to charge people, whatever, it's $100, whatever it is.
Or at the
Yeah.
elementary, it's free at the middle school.
If we get the grant.
If we get the grant,
We
we
get-
just,
With the
We
sliding
just-
scale
right.
for people.
But if it doesn't, that's what you want to explore.
No.
How do we want to do it? What do we
I
want?
didn't realize that we were kind of like, oh, we're good to go. Well, again, John's saying that.
That's my, that was my assumption.
Yeah.
So we're,
There's got to be a middle ground somewhere too between. I say there's got to be. Is it possible that there is a space in which we fund a part of it and we charge for part of it so that we're not charging 350,000?
This current budget, no.
So we know,
I mean, that's why I'm asking. I'm like,
the horse is left its stall,
We-
the barn.
do we know approximately how many students that utilize these programs are free and reduced?
So I've got 18 at the elementary school right now, with 8 of them receiving the scholarships. At the middle school, they're all free anyway, but using their history from the elementary school, I'm estimating 16 of them are free and reduced right now.
Of how many
To give you an
total?
idea, I have last
How
year.
many people do you, slow down. How many people do you have enrolled in the program? Not attending. How many people enrolled at the elementary program? How many at the middle school?
91.
Out of those, how many are free and reduced at the
It's
elementary?
about 15%-ish, 12%.
Yeah, and that's right now, and it's still kind of early in the school year. I have last year's free and reduced numbers. By the end of the year at the elementary school, we ended up with 26 who were free and reduced, which was 21.85% of our kids. And 36 at the middle school, which was 30.25% of our kids.
So that's, I mean,
So that would be
mostly a huge portion of the people that are utilizing this are the ones.
a third.
Right.
Approximately. It's a little.
Even if we charge, we're not going to get money for,
So again, we would not. Yeah, we would not charge them the full rate.
right? So that's, so do we then,
I think we kind of figured that formula out, that 300 some odd dollars will cover that. And then we would charge them or nothing. So again, if we're charging two, are we going to have the same numbers that we've had in the past? Again,
Yeah.
there's not a single program in Raymond. And I can tell you right now, my son's paying $1,000. for aftercare where, because there is nothing else that he's got to pay.
But my concern is that, you know, you got 70%, 75% of the people will be carrying the weight of the program for, you know, 25% of the people that are getting reduced or
Yep.
free admission. So how do we not have that happen?
I can look into licensing, qualifying for New Hampshire Child Care Scholarships. Through Department of Health and Human Services.
And I get it's gonna happen to some degree, but I mean, if there's a difference between, I mean, it's gonna be quite a significant amount of money, particularly at the middle school, if we don't have the funding and you're at 30%.
So I guess what Pat's saying, there's other means to raise money, you know? I guess.
So we do enough fundraisers already for every single group here, but let's throw one more in the mix.
Yeah. And do we currently charge again for any students?
100 per quarter for elementary, it's 50 if they qualify for free or reduced lunch, and nothing for the middle school.
A number of years ago, we actually had to go through with this. And we had, what kind of success rate with that?
The elementary school had a slight drop off. The middle school program was basically non-existent.
Okay.
And that was before fourth grade was in there though. So we were looking at 10 fifth graders and 5 6th graders.
We could, again, we could take that small number though and put them on a bus and send them to the elementary school.
And I did do the survey. Do you want me to?
Yeah. Look, my thing is that, well, I'm gonna say no because that's what they're charging me, so I'm gonna say no, so they lower the price.
Exactly.
But then the question is, I mean, I guess it's really not, it is our concern, but not, but then what happens to all those, say, you know, 80 kids that were going that don't go anymore? You know what I mean?
Where do they
That
go?
sets them up for a potential, like, okay, they're just
Running
in the wind, they're out in the wind.
They're home alone.
My concern.
Right,
You
like,
know,
so
what are they
what-
gonna-
Those football games down on the common are gonna get a lot bigger.
It's not so much the money, it's like, I mean, we set these kids up now to potentially get themselves into trouble because they're not structured or they're home alone or whatever.
I think then we might have to take a look at that. While we could do the elementary pretty feasibly with our own program. Maybe we take a look at somebody taking over the middle school rec or something, or an outside organization taking over the middle school. I don't know. I guess, you know, these are questions I don't have answers to because it's not, but I think we need to plan. We need to have some sort of,
Ask them.
yeah.
At some point, parents have to take responsibility. I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah.
do our best, but it's really on their shoulders, not our shoulders.
But if they have been relying on a program
I
that
know.
is now gone, or they have to pay $400 for it, I
I
mean, that's
understand, but-
not them not doing their job. I mean, that's.
I know, it's just like everything else, all the prices going up, people are struggling with a lot of things right now, and it's unfortunately the times changing.
If you could remind me, Pat, my memory is that what we did that year leading up to it is we made our decision late in,
It
like
was-
maybe even
it was the
August.
Last meeting in June,
Was it in
going
June?
into the next fiscal year.
So that we
Because
could,
there was money in reserves or something like that that
I don't remember.
I requested.
Because I'm just trying to think of, you know, at some point, we've got to put a stake in the ground if we go forward and say, we're gonna have the program or not. And if we are, what is the rate? And then, you know, because we need numbers. And then if we're not, then we give families time to react also.
Yeah, it was definitely the very end of June, so I
Was it?
remember the day after
Hmm.
that meeting. And it was approved, it was July 1st, and I went in and signed the contract for the next year, so.
We should give them earlier notice. It's a possibility because with all the cuts, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's aware of all the cuts.
Well, I
So they
don't,
could have enough time, like you said, to plan.
well, I don't think anyone was aware of that the freeze was gonna take place. It was kind of out of the blue where
Yeah.
all of a sudden, nobody got their money.
Yep.
So there's no planning behind that, yeah.
Where
it's
does it come
like,
from?
okay. Steve,
The 350 you were talking about that we would have to charge, I was assuming that was monthly, but I heard you just say $100 quarterly. It's
Yeah.
350. Right, but is 350 gonna be monthly or quarterly? Monthly. It's a significant difference. That's why.
I would,
So 100 quarterly currently,
Mm-hmm.
and 350 monthly.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that's borderline unaffordable for a lot of people.
Well, when we discussed this, I asked about, and then I was told, well, because I'm not in the preschool, or they're not the.
It's still, that's very cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's for what the rate is
$1,000
to do that.
Yeah, but I mean,
I mean, I understand, but I'm just, that's, you know, it's outrageous. I mean, I think that's one of the governor's big pushes is affordable health, daycare, childcare, because it's outrageous.
Yeah.
With what money they got.
I'm just telling you, it's one of her.
They can't keep cutting things.
Yeah.
It's, they're saying we're gonna give more money out to other people than they.
All the tax breaks, you should be able to afford that.
Either no program or work, you know, parents figure something. I don't know.
Well, obviously, we're still holding out hopefully.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we're smooth sailing.
I know when I first was on
Parents
the
just
board,
start following the governor and stuff.
the Boys and Girls Club was doing this.
The Boys and Girls Club did it at the middle school for 1 year. And then Rockingham Community Action took it over the next year, which is when I got involved. They bailed, then RCFY took it over and they ran it until we got the grant. It's been what it is now. And during that time, the YMCA was at the elementary school. I had nothing to do with that. And then we got the grant for working with the YMCA until they decided they didn't want to follow through on their MOUs, not play nice with us, and then they left and now switched us.
And I know it was a big leap show. When they were not doing the MOUs and stuff like that.
That's why we have the before school program.
And they also charged more, I believe.
Yep, for after school back then, and we're talking 6 years ago, it was around 250. I don't know if it was a month. It had to at least have been a month. Could have been bi-week, I'm not sure.
We have had, I mean, like you said,
It was 6 years.
I've been more than that now, right? Was
So
it only 6 years ago they were here? Thought it was more
we
than
took
that.
over the before school program in the 2019-20 school year. So they were there up until then. But once we got our grant in our program, their after school programs.
Oh, yeah.
In the teens, as far as I know. So I don't know what it was like before we were there, because I had nothing to do elementary school. Right.
So do you actually need anything from us based on what we were?
Well, I guess whether we're going status quo with the $350 if worst comes case scenario.
And this is for next year?
Yep.
Next year, if the grant doesn't come through, to keep the program, we have to put it up to 350. So expecting a drop, is the,
Well, then you would lower personnel. You wouldn't have to have as many people.
well, but so that's the price, even no matter what, that's what we came up, that's what you guys came up with. That's the
That was
right
to keep
number.
the Status quo.
And if,
So K through 8, doing what we do now, same quality, keeping teachers on board. You know, if we want to look at reducing the price, then we're looking at, you know, maybe not bringing in salary certified teachers and just having paras and college students and high school kids.
because right now you have 180 in the program between the two schools, 181. And about 60 are getting free and reduced.
That's a significant
Yeah,
portion,
30%.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have a lot of choices.
Is that 350 for everybody, middle school and elementary?
Like Terry said, but I just talked a little bit about results, even though we know that it's not. So we did do the survey, it was a quick 1-question survey I sent out last week before break. If LEAP no longer received federal funding, would you pay $350 per month to receive the same services you do now? Please answer yes or no, and what grade your child or children will be entering in the 2026-27 school year. So I got 86 responses, 46 were no, 40 were yes. You also have to take into account that this did not reach the incoming kindergartners. So I would assume that we would get a good number from that incoming group next year.
And only half the people responded.
So half responded, but half of
The half said no.
half of the half.
So that's a bad sign off the top.
So you gotta figure we're looking
The
at
other half
20 to
of the half.
40% drop in attendance.
When
Minimum.
you look at the yeses, 1 going into 6th grade, 2 going into 7th, and the rest are all younger than that.
Yeah, so that's goodbye middle school program.
Unless you take 4th and 5th and put it in the elementary school.
Yeah.
If people, this one, people did, you know, vote for what's going on right now. Second, if they really want the program, they can come and put it in there during the deliberative session. I mean, in my mind, we're going forward with what we have.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we can do.
I would
And with
just-
that as the backup.
Write a separate warrant article, please.
No, they'd have to add it back in the, they have to add it to the
But
budget.
anyone listening could do. So that's my plea.
But isn't the problem,
The amount would be had 350,000
yeah, probably.
to put into,
Well, the same.
Operating budget.
We had the same issue we had last year.
Well, it was my first year. You guys had put the money in the budget because you didn't know if you were getting the grant.
Mhm.
And we got the grant, so we did have a surplus that year, approximately $300,000. We knew right away that we had because we got the grant. And I remember that was my first year. Dave put it in.
Isn't the issue if we put it in as a warrant article specific to this program and it gets voted down, that we're kind of stuck? We can't put it in again?
Mhm.
For that year.
That year, you're done.
There would be no program at all for us.
I'm not a
Yes, the
fan.
rec could come in and do it, but we would have no part in it, right, John?
What's that?
If the rec wanted to run the program or something, they could do that, right? It just, we couldn't run it.
Yeah, it's not the school doing it, it's the town, but.
Someone else would have to do it.
Do that.
Well, yeah, I think I voted down once.
So,
So-
sorry,
No, right.
just going back to the results of that survey, we did have 3 separate initiatives. And one of them was just doing the after-school program K-5, anticipating only 50 kids, which would be a little bit lesser cost. And with the responses of that survey having 40, and that's without any kindergarten input whatsoever, that's really close to what we were looking at for that.
Again, I'm going into the theory that one of those where we're on the hook for the 25 at this point and hope we get a grant. If we don't, then it's up to the participants' families whether they want to do it or not. And it's in their court, so to speak. And then we'll just have to make that decision in that early summer timeframe.
We have this to make sure we're getting that break even.
That's where I'm at. We need what everybody else wants to do.
Do you have an estimated cost moving forward based on, say, 50% of the people coming back and having to pay for it? If it would be any less or?
So we had the $350 per month. I believe the total monthly cost, if we did just the K-5 and doing it all at the elementary school, that was around $327. So
Yeah, so it's minimal.
Not much different then.
Right. But again, we came up with those other options, just knowing that, whatever price tag we put on this, we're probably those 6th or 8th graders, we're not going to see
So,
a whole lot of demand for it.
all right. I think then, I guess I'm sort of in the same boat as John. I guess the assumption is we'll move forward, assuming that we're gonna get it. And then if we don't, at least we know that there are plans in place to support a program. And it might be a smaller program and God knows how many we're making estimates based on your survey, which was awesome that you did, but I don't know what choice we really have, right? Obviously, I agree with you. I'd rather keep the kids busy after school to keep them out of trouble
And then, so are we not able to tell them until, August again, that, okay, now you have to pay this year? And then that kind of,
that's.
It's up to the federal government.
I know, yeah.
so that's my only problem is we don't know when we'll have to.
We don't know when we'll have to make that choice, yeah.
So the budget or continuing resolutions, whatever they're doing nowadays, will be done before then. Right?
And I think maybe
We would hope.
we would hope, and he kind of figured out that, if this is the way it's going, if they appropriate the money, I have to spend it appropriately.
And I don't know what that time frame is, but again, we'll be upfront with everybody. This is what our plan is. We've got 25,000 in the budget. If we get the grant, then it will run as it has been for a number of years. And if we don't, then we're gonna have to charge the tuition fee, whatever you wanna call it, be there. And this is what we're envisioning, depending on the enrollment numbers.
And by putting the survey out and the information I gave, I told them this is worst case scenario coming up, like given recent history, we need to make sure we have all our ducks in a row. So this is now on their radar, unlike last year where they were expecting registration open on July 14th. And on July 1st, I sent out an email saying, guess what? We're in a holding pattern now, and I have no idea when or if this is going to happen.
Yeah.
So at least now it's on their radar in advance.
Have we ever gone to the town businesses and seen if they want to help support or sponsor or something? Or is that not?
We, as a board, can't. That would be something that now actually.
Not yet.
Can
Getting
do.
close to it.
That we,
Say another-
oh, as a town,
Changing that, I'd be more than happy to start
Yeah.
walking around downtown and.
So we have changed policies about,
Out of fundraise.
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure.
advertising, whatever you want to call it,
Stand on the median outside by your, the companies.
Unfortunately, I have to leave because somebody's having car trouble. So hopefully I'll be back, but.
Good luck.
well,
If you're back, it wasn't that much trouble.
No.
Driving your new one?
Yeah.
Enough information. I think so. Yep. Well, I think we're just status quo. We're gonna roll and then hopefully we have some better answers. And I think April, May. April and May, we might have to bring this back and be a little bit more definitive in our plan.
Sure. Just fingers crossed this was all for nothing.
Well, we plan, but
Hopefully.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott,
I hate everything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not one good thing in there.
No, that was just like. All right, health insurance.
well, again, do you guys have any other questions? Anything that you thought about? Anything that came up? And I'm trying to reach out to the town. Again, I've got to realize it's only been 3 business days. I got to slow my roll. But any questions, any other?
I'm trying to pull up the presentation that, was sent to us.
Okay.
It's, whoops, sorry. The first year in 24, 25, the projected, we would have saved like 60 something thousand.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second year was gonna be 630 or something, savings equaling 700. The question I have is the 67, if we had gone to negative, how would that if we went with their proposal, how was that handled? Are we on the hook for that money? You know what I mean?
Oh, for that costing us and not
Yeah.
in the
I
first
thought
year?
they said that's
Any
where the
year.
reinsurance was, there was a
Stop
reinsurance,
loss.
there's a stop loss reinsurance program that stops us from losing money. That, if I remember what they said, the way it was set up was we have a certain amount of premiums that we pay, and if we do end up with a negative, that's where the reinsurance comes in. That we can't go below a certain number.
So I guess we just need clarity on that because I only took that as to be if we had a claim over the 120, if you got really sick and your claim was over 120,000,
Yeah.
that's when that reinsurance would kick in.
Yeah,
But what if
Yeah, it just
all of us get
accumulates.
to 110, well, hit the 120,
and
what
I,
happens then?
and I had a question about, so what if we have
Well,
8 or 9 people that will run up 600,000 to 700,000 a year and
yeah, so,
because that's not hard to do.
yeah.
You know, it's really not hard to do.
I thought they mentioned that, but I would definitely want to know for sure, because I was under the impression that that stop loss was both kind of like when you do a deductible, you have an individual deductible and a family deductible.
Right.
There was a larger number for us as a group, but there was still a stop loss total.
Yeah, so my question is, if we had, say, 10 or 15 people that cost 700,000 a year, now is that 120 number, 160 cover for that? Because, and I'll use a very specific instance, like you see it on TV, infusions are becoming more and more popular way to administer medicine.
Yeah.
And some of them cost up to $60,000, $70,000 per, probably more than that. And if you get 6 of those a year, or 10 or 12, that's a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
And that could be, we could already have 10 or 15 people in the district that are doing it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right?
no,
And
we
then,
need-
then where does that put us starting out? As far as the stop loss number, is that 110 based on?
Yeah,
Next year.
Yeah,
stop
right.
loss and the claims are over stop loss.
Yeah, so again, if you get 10 or 12 people filing $750,000 a year, every year, that's gonna raise everybody's
Maybe.
number,
I
right?
want to say we asked them about that, but I don't remember clearly their answer, so I'd be.
I wrote those down. I can get those answers. And like I said, I reach out to the town to see where they're at too.
I think the answer was that your number, your basically deductible goes from the 118 to 130 to 140, or they kind of would factor that in
Yeah.
to the stop loss amount, because I mean, it's not gonna stay that low if you're got 10 people racking up $1 million a year.
And maybe I'm making more of it than it needs to be, but do we have to have a fund? So that if it goes negative, we have something to tap into?
I think that's what the stop loss is.
That's supposed
But
to
I'm
be.
talking about the entirety, because if the stop loss is for an individual, I'm talking about the accumulation of everybody's. You know, a lot of 10,000, 20,000 that we didn't anticipate adds up. That's what I'm trying to get at, because
And what happens if we go into red? Simple as that.
Yeah,
Easy question.
I do
What
think
happens when
we
we go
address,
into red?
I don't,
what do we do to?
They did, I
Right.
don't remember what it
I think what,
was.
yeah, I remember asking we talked about all this stuff and I remember liking the answers. How's that? I don't remember specifically what they said we would do for that, but we were very clear on, we can't really afford to be losing money year after year. And how does that work? And he mentioned that's where the reinsurance came in. There was a couple other things he mentioned.
Right, and that, but I guess,
Yeah,
you know, it would be great if it was 600 and something thousand every year. We see that, that's great, but that's not real world. That 60 is a possibility and negative's a possibility. I just want to make sure that I'm all for the savings, but I'm also not in favor of putting the district.
Yep.
Exposing the district.
In my mind, the first 5 years are the most important 5 years. Because the first 5 years, if you're in the green, that's great because you're going to be able to protect yourself in year 6 when you do go into red. Because you're going to have that money you saved that he says you just put in that account. Basically, I remember him saying that
Essentially, your
that it
payout.
saves you when something like that. So yeah, there's a little bit of, like he said, the savings, I remember him aren't as great year 1 and year 2, but year 3 and 4, if you're doing it right, your savings start to,
You're gonna build up that.
yeah, so that's the issue. is building.
Terry, can you ask them to give us kind of an example, like a 5-year example with situations like that? Because sometimes you talk about these, they talk about the policies and we have this and it's great and it all makes sense when you think about it abstractly, but I'd like to see like maybe a 5-year spreadsheet breakdown where it says, okay, this is what you put in year 1, this is, hey, you have a loss in year 3, but this is why you're protected.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to see a number break. I feel like I'm talking John over here. I'd like to see some sort of a breakdown that makes.
I apologize.
Or
That's so good. No, that's
What was
good.
an example, like if 3 people have a heart attack, what happens then? You know, to drive up or just anything that's gonna cost a lot of
So I
money.
can see a concrete
Right,
example, because then it would
exactly,
make it a lot easier to go, oh, all right, that makes sense. You know,
That problem was that all the answers, like you said, were too like, okay, I'm with that. Like, when you like every single answer, it's like, all right.
it felt good, but creepy.
Yeah, you're like, this is.
My apologies if you guys were listening, because I don't know.
So,
Creepy, but
our outside consultant basically confirmed everything they said, though.
Mhm.
She agreed, but I'm like, oh, yep, that's pretty much, you know,
Yeah.
what she said, and so I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's worth double.
but she's got more disadvantages than she does.
Yeah,
At what,
advantages.
what point, Terry, do we need to make a decision so you can move forward?
well, I guess I gotta figure out what the town would like to do. So that gets our numbers to a certain point.
That's,
And if they're on a positive, track too, then I think, that's 3 unions we're gonna have to bring in and say, hey, would you like to come in and sit down and sit through this presentation too? That, what would be the towns and
We have
then,
multiple.
well, yeah, whatever. I gotta bring them in.
What I'm saying though, this is for us.
Yep.
We can do it on our own, I said, right?
Yeah,
So we need to move forward with that philosophy until we hear the town say, we want to be part of it. And then we have to modify, but we just need to make sure we're marching so that the board isn't holding you up.
Yep.
And we're, you know what I mean?
so I guess the next thing, if we're seeing positive, and I guess, so the next board meeting, I come back with these answers here.
Right.
And then we can make a decision whether we want to sit down and bring the unions in,
Unless,
conversation with them.
I guess the easy way to do this is anybody saying no at this point, because if people are saying no, then,
Oh,
then all
makes
bets
my
are
job a
off.
lot easier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that,
Yeah.
that's my biggest concern is that
I mean, if it's gonna work the way they say it is,
Right.
I'm a yes.
Same.
yeah, because it saves everybody money.
Okay.
Hopefully the, membership will be also.
Yep.
See that.
Very good.
Okay.
So that's 2 things I gotta call about in the morning.
Call first. Let me try to get hold of him first, then I'll call you in, okay?
All right. You don't hear back from about 8:30.
Oh, gee. 8:30.
Tony's on the phone.
We got stuff to do here. We can't be,
Yeah.
dragging our feet.
Thanks, sir.
All right, up next, we got here. New revised policies for first reading. All right, Joe's gone.
Yeah. EHAG, use of generative artificial intelligence. This is new from the School Board Association. And again, we're just using it in entirety. And we, as a committee, decided that this would be fourth grade and above, that it would impact. So that's what I've got on this one.
This pertains to like AI that would write out a report.
Yeah, generative, anything like,
Essentially,
ChatGPT,
you tell it what you need and it
Yeah, and then allows staff to use it, because obviously it can help staff.
Yeah.
A lot of things that they do now,
So
the AI could do very quickly for them.
my wife showed me a neat trick where hilarious. She took a picture of my daughter's worksheet and put it into AI and it literally just gave her like did the whole thing for her. And I was like, just like that. And she still can't do her homework.
Yeah, I can't afford doing that because I actually have to know how to do it. I can't be afforded.
To be able to explain it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when they raise their hand and say, could you explain? You got them up. Dad, help me.
This is why you used to have to show your work, Karen.
Phone to get AI out, please.
I will say I did look through this policy and it very much lines up with what Liberty Mutual is doing today. Corporate wide, we have guardrails around how you can use AI and how you use it as a tool, not as the solution. And 'cause we could do this, I could go into one of the models right now and tell it to write me a piece of software and it'll do it and it'll run, but it'll be janky and it'll probably fail at some point. in time.
And AI can tell if AI wrote something.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a way to say you did not write this.
Yeah, you could have, the
Based on-
teachers could use AI to say, hey, scan this and tell me.
Oh, I wrote that. Yeah, no, that was me.
ChatGPT getting all upset.
Yeah,
Hey,
like-
that's my work.
Plagiarism, yeah.
Incite me.
I mean, I think it's the right way to go. I mean, we have to have some
I
rules.
use it a lot for editing because I'm a terrible writer. So I'll write something and I'll say, clean it up. And my message, but it's cleaned up.
Yeah, yeah, I,
So much nicer.
I've done it at work. I've done it at home. It's nice to have someone,
It's good for
I look-
legal language. Like,
I look at it like if you were working with a mentor, someone who knew more than you or wrote better than you, you go, hey, can you look at this? If I handed it to John, I said, could you look at this for me?
it'd be foolish not to ask them.
Right. So but you use it as a support, not as a replacement for your work. Yeah,
As your feet are up,
yeah,
leaning back,
yeah.
wouldn't look good.
Now, when you get AI agents and you can have one of them talk to the other one and have them do all the work for you, and that,
Well,
yeah.
ready for the next one? Yes. All right, next one, policy EHB-R records retention. We're asking to rescind. And we're just going back to the board want, we decided to eliminate the our policies.
Okay.
Next one up is KG memorials and plaques. When this policy was presented to the school board as part of an agenda item a few months ago, the board had commented the language regarding the size requirements for memorials confusing. Commission is an effort to clarify the language.
4 lines of 14 characters. That's like Twitter numbers, right? X.
Mhm.
It's not a lot of characters.
So we're
But this
cleaning that
would-
up.
This brick, yeah, but that would basically just be in memorial or in memory of somebody's name, typically, something like that.
Yeah, if it's something small.
Yeah, this, like a brick in this instance. Like,
Yeah.
it's not gonna have a speech on it, so
And the plaque would be no bigger than,
it's pretty standard size, right? Yeah, I mean, 8 by 10. I can put that.
Next one up is KHB advertising in schools. And this is, a proposed revision is off of another school district. We had talked about, changing as a board asking for this, right?
Yep.
So that's how this came about. So those are the new ones.
It's kind of funny, the poles, the plaques coming up on the poles, they're looking pretty bad.
Yeah, the
Ones that are
gifts,
donated.
yeah.
So we, like I said, we have this branding with that we're doing with that. We get money because we spend money. But when they designed it, it's got the Adidas logo on it and it's got the Ram and all that other stuff. So I'm gonna come to you, but we're gonna take one down, put it on the wall, memorialize the donated ones so we can get clean ones up. But because we have to go with the Adidas because that's how we're getting all this uniforms and stuff.
Mhm.
I gotta bring it to you because it's more than a year. So
But you're gonna keep the original.
we're gonna keep one original. We're gonna put it on a plaque in the office,
Mm.
thanking them to donate it because they're all ratty and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't fix them.
What is this?
The green things that, coming up that, the Ram Nation or whatever they are.
Gifts on the poles on the
Oh, the-
driveway.
Yeah,
Oh,
falling down and
The
worn out.
bleeding, the
Yeah.
paint's bleeding on them,
Yeah, and so. Yeah, I'm like, oh, well, we have to wait for this policy to get passed.
So, sorry, I haven't had a chance to read through this one. Is this just advertising to the students or advertising within and on school grounds?
I think it's just in general. And if you want to put anything advertising, anything, like even my Thanksgiving flyer, I think would fall into this now. It says right here, distributing, broadcasting, publishing, or sharing information to promote products, services, opinions, causes, or organizations.
So I have to approve every flyer that goes out now. Yeah.
What about RTFY? Even that too, RTFY?
Oh, yeah. Yep, she sends it to us and I say, I bless it, yes or no.
it's got a whole procedure. It's got the holy water.
Yep. So what
Smoke
about,
comes out of the top of it.
Yeah.
what about
Yeah.
sponsorships from corporations on our fences? I know that's something we've talked about as a way to generate revenue that Bayside Distributing here over in Epping could, not that they would put up a beer, that's probably the wrong one, maybe they put up a Coke one, but
Oh, Walmart, let's go. with
Right, right
Oh
here.
my-
How about H? Raymond School may, upon approval of superintendent, accept financial or equipment resources in return for recognition of the donor at the athletic venue during that athletic season.
There you go.
does that cover that well enough?
That would, like, if
That's what
Adidas gives us uniforms, we put up an Adidas sign on the field for the
But
season.
I mean, even just straight up go into Bayside and say, hey, we'd like to hang a Coke banner if you donate, pay us to put a Coke banner up.
I don't know. if
Like a
soliciting is
billboard-
a little different than.
Well, like a billboard style.
Mm.
I want to be careful with it, but one of our problems, or not problems, one of the challenges we have is revenue generation.
Mhm.
And it seems it could be a beneficial thing for us as a district to look at certain types of advertisement as a way to generate revenue. We have all of this space and all of these gatherings where we can guarantee crowds of people looking at a sign. It would be maybe worth looking at a source of revenue where we could say, okay, we have 5 spaces that we will designate as spaces that can be used for this. And here's the types of things that are acceptable to be done on school grounds. And for those, we could bring in maybe 50 grand a year.
The only thing we need to reconsider about that though is that, like, for instance, the 107 fields is town property, so that would have to go through the town
That would have
approval
to
and
be
conform to their policy, which wouldn't be an issue. But that's just another layer of tape
I'm just wanting,
to have to keep in mind with the whole, you can put up signs, but
yeah. Yeah, and obviously the 107 fields have a ton of fence that could easily be used for revenue generation to
people
support
were
the fields.
using it, yeah. But,
Right,
you know,
so-
again,
But if we have, now we want to do it the right way,
Mm-hmm.
right? We want to do it so that the policies are.
it's pretty much the same. It has to go through the town manager or the board of selectmen have to approve it.
Is-
But it's not, it doesn't say you can't do it.
Okay, so there's nothing in here that stops us from
No.
exploring that. Okay, that was my only.
I saw in my 3-second review.
I just did a quick look through and I didn't see anything, but I,
at those 3 seconds.
Take a little longer look at it and let me know Friday.
John, was there, obviously you and Joe went through this, so with Terry, is there anything in here that you think would stop us from exploring that option?
I don't recall anything. I didn't read it this past time, but we looked at it
Yeah, it was a while ago, yeah.
with the mind of.
Yeah, that's what
That was
People are looking.
something that we were looking for is
some latitude.
But everything has to basically go through Terry or its designee.
unless it's
For,
more of a year, if it's up for more than a year, then you guys have to approve it.
Right.
the only one that doesn't
Those pole signs are gonna be up for longer than a year,
Oh,
so
yeah.
yeah, but the only one
our hope.
doesn't specify Terry as the guy is the school publications may accept and publish paid advertising under established procedures. But then that would have to go through you under that procedure.
Yes.
So anything goes wrong, blame Terry.
That's pretty much how.
Well, you should have
That's what I
started with
get.
that.
Or his designee. Yeah.
Ethan.
All right. Ethan. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to belabor. Wanted to make sure that I can look at it again. I know we're just doing a first reading anyway. Sorry.
Good.
On that note, he's leaving.
Yeah.
Look, it's like I'm getting blamed.
I'll see you tomorrow morning when I come over.
Ethan's like, I'm getting blamed for stuff.
Wow. Have a good day.
Good night.
Ethan.
All right.
Go to the next one.
Yes, yes. So, new revised policy, second reading.
Administrative reports. It's been- CL.
I'll make a motion to accept CL administrative reports as presented, I guess.
Second.
Second by Beth, discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed?
Yeah.
John, opposed? Yep. And that's 3-1, no Joe.
Next one up is JIC student conduct. Make a motion to accept policy JIC.
Second.
Second by Steve, in discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None.
Next up, JLCF wellness policy. I'll make a motion to accept policy JLCF.
Second.
Second by Steve, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. 4. Next.
Next, policy is JLCK. Physical health needs of students. Make a policy to accept, make a motion to accept policy JLCK.
Second.
Second by Steve. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye. Last is policy JLIA, supervision of students. I'll make a motion to accept policy JLIA.
Second.
And second by Steve. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. And moving on, strategic plan.
John, do you want to talk or do you want me to talk?
My voice is, yeah, let you.
All right, Mr. The Strategic Planning Committee met September and October to update the 23-26 strategic plan. The new plan is there. Goals that have become part of our culture have been removed. New goals were established under universal supports for all students and under culture and climate. And strategic actions were reviewed and adjusted throughout. The focus area of the district-wide consistency and communication, process, expectations, and accountability were removed from the updated plan as all objectives have been met and are ongoing. We can click to see the current strategic plan. We don't want the new one. We want the new one, which is the updated one. We have some highlights in red on page. I don't think we have any updated plans.
Yeah, it's the before and after is what we're having in front of us.
We definitely made sure that we outlined outcome measures. We definitely put stuffs in the box so that we know what we're measuring and how to measure it. The committee was pretty firm on that. And that was one of the big takeaways that in our goals, we wanted to make sure that we knew how to measure our success. And so we put those in the plan.
Yeah, I think those,
You were there too.
yeah, those last meetings, I think they were pretty productive. If I might add my 2 cents. John,
I'll make a motion to approve the updated strategic plan as presented.
Second.
all right, second by Steve. Any discussion?
Thank all those individuals that helped out.
Yes, I concur with that. Thank you very much. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, 0. Committee reports.
Yeah, sorry, drawing up rain. We had the building committee has met a few times. The last meeting, which was the other day, we discussed trying to update our website that Jen created for us. Again, thank you to Jen. It was suggested by the architect to come up with a frequently asked question link to that, and that site is RSD, so Raymond School District, and then build, so rsdbuild.com is that site. And we worked on questions for that. We won't have updated ones because we're going to meet back again to make sure it's going to be what we thought it was going to be. Prior to that, we met with the architects. The architects came back with rough schematics of what different options could look like. We saw a 2-story building and a 3-story building. And I just bring that up just so that if the board objects to anything, we can hear it now. The 3-story would be, the bottom layer would be on ground level at one side of the building. The second story, would also be on ground level. The main, which is the main entrance.
So like this building almost?
Yeah, with the slope on it.
Yeah, because of the slope of the land.
Yeah, 'cause both floors here are technically.
Yeah, and that second floor, so to speak, of that classroom wing would be on the same level as the gym, administrative offices, like I said, the main entrance. And then there'd be a 3rd floor, which is, you would have to go down 1 flight on one side of the building, 2 flights on the exterior I'm talking about for emergency purposes. I just wanted to bring that up. Nothing has been decided what we're going to do. It was just options, and I thought it'd be important for the board to hear those. So if the board says, whoa, I object to something.
No models? I'd like to see models. I like models.
We just saw 2D. That's all we got at this point.
I gotta use my imagination.
Yes. So, but again, that's just rough, and we'll be working on that at an upcoming meeting with our architects.
Are those available in any supporting documents on that site, or like can the public see those images, or?
To be honest, we don't have those images. The architect, we're supposed to be getting them. So we'll have to reach out to the architects to get them.
Yeah, it'd be good to see them. Yeah, I mean, obviously 3 floors is nice if we can get the space. But I mean, I know that's probably going to be a significant increase from the second cost wise from a 2-story to a 3-story building.
Well, in theory, it's
Smaller footprint.
you're doing less
Groundwork.
and such.
Most expensive thing is the groundwork.
Yeah, less foundational work. Well, so you're saying the 2-story would be a wider base, but the 3-story would be shorter but taller. Less.
Okay. There'd be 1 floor would be all by itself, the lowest floor. All right. And then you go up a floor, and that lowest floor would be for K and pre-K.
Okay.
Then you go up to what I would call the main floor. And that holds your administration, your CAF, library, gym, and then your 1st and 2nd graders.
Okay.
And then the 3rd floor of that classroom wing, for whatever, for lack of a better term,
Right.
would be your 3rd and 4th grade.
It's almost like a hill.
Right.
Yeah.
Right here, the gym's on the ground floor.
Yeah.
You gotta walk up here, but technically we're on the ground floor.
too.
Right. Yeah.
You walk in here and get on the ground, but you gotta walk up the ramp if you come into gym.
Okay.
So
All right, cool.
taking the hill and using it as a
Yeah, and the other
entrance and an
would be the, you know, the two-story would be we wouldn't have that. Obviously, the third,
The
lower
rest would be
level.
the same.
the base would be the same for everybody, and the second floor would hold, higher grades.
Okay.
And it'd be just more dispersed
Yeah.
amongst it, so. But like I said, I just brought it up just so that if somebody on the board said, yeah, we don't want to do whatever, now would be the time. That's what I had.
So can we just design that building so when you walk around it, every corner doesn't look exactly the same? Because I get so lost in the middle school because every time I walk around a corner, it looks exactly the same. I'm like, where am I? Jesus.
where's
I can't, I can't.
Lines on the
Yeah.
wall.
I used to be able to cheat because the lockers,
Yes.
Yeah.
locker numbers, you can't do that anymore. They used to be 400,
Oh.
500s were the fifth and
Yeah.
800s were
Oh, goodness.
eighth grade. So
The fourth
you could
grade,
cheat.
I had to
You can't do that anymore.
I love it. I can't find my way around it to save my life.
No, I need my daughter.
Made him always
We go into bed.
You need the fourth and fifth, and then upstairs you get six, seven.
Yeah. I know the library is upstairs.
After that,
Cafeteria is down in the back.
One thing I did forget, Tony, sorry. The budget committee, as we know, was canceled from last night.
Yeah.
Jeff has been working
I got
all kinds of,
emails right here.
yeah, so he's got, I don't know if it's been resolved as to when. Okay. So do you know when it's?
Yep, Monday, December 8th is our first one, and follow-up will be Tuesday, December 16th.
Those are the presentations. Well,
I
they,
haven't had a chance to look at it.
and then
The 8th and the 16th. Monday, Tuesday.
Okay. Thank you, sir. You all good? We got an email for the CIP committee. Doug is putting together a document. I know he's working with Ryan, who's the vice chair of that committee. I've not seen a full copy of the report. I guess I've seen part of it.
That's for the town report.
This is for they're basically
Year
reporting
end.
their year end, yeah. Our year end, here's what we're gonna recommend to the town and the school.
All right. Anything else?
We had wellness committee today, but there was myself, Rachel Spoto, that's the new health teacher. He's fantastic. He's really nice. Marjorie and Lise that ran it, and yeah, the health teacher had a lot of ideas and stuff of what to try and bring in more healthier stuff like for breakfast and stuff. You know, talking about the hummus and all that stuff that kids are into now. She's taught some good stuff in her class, covering the nutritional aspects of those and physical units. And the kids really are enjoying the health class. They're they understand why they have to make better choices. And she's giving them better choices, and she's planning on taking, like she took out the health, I think when they did the bones or something like that, she mentioned like they take them outside and you pick up this bone. What's this bone for? What's the name of it? And what's it do? You know, like you stretch it, you know, so they actually know what their physical body does. She was just, pretty phenomenal. She's done surveys asking the kids what appeals to them as far as food, trying to get ideas, trying to get kids to eat more of the food that's being served and not waste it or sit there and not eat at all. Big on snacks that we talk about the kids having any grade having snacks. I think it's a big thing to get them still blood to their brain, really get them moving a lot. I know for a fact that a lot of the teachers use, I think it's the Wii, they do the dance thing, they get the kids up and they do dance movements. And even the upstairs, the teachers in the upper grades, they get them moving, doing something, which helps. So she talked about that. So she's got a lot of good ideas to make better choices, and the salads, I guess, at the middle school is selling out.
It's good.
Yeah,
A good problem to have.
yeah, so, and there's less waste. So that was good. But she's quite busy. Thinking about additional activities to add, and we adjourned at 10 minutes of 1. Well, like I said, it was just a few of us, so, but we just threw around some good ideas to put up posters that really like the Doritos and stuff, the kids, kids that what they're focused on now for, it's like junk to eat. And what's the opposite, what's the better choice? But we'll give them the same, like salt or whatever, not a lot of it or a lot of sugar. To give them a different choice than what's being thrown at them on the TV with the commercials and everything, so.
Very good. Superintendent report.
I had mentioned all the soccer team that was in my last one and their awards. Thank God they were here because I was going to butcher those last names terribly. Huge shout out to Rich, the town road agent. Is it Rich or Rick? I was calling by the wrong name. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the highway department, yeah.
Yeah, him and his crew, fantastic job getting things cleaned up. Last night at 8 o'clock, I didn't hear any chatter. So I was assuming things were good to go. So I was like, oh, I got to go snow blow. At 4 o'clock when I got up, made some phone calls. I didn't stop snowing until 3. So the weathermen were off a little bit. And so we had to go with a delay this morning, but he was fantastic. Todd's crew, fantastic, getting everything cleaned up for the first storm. And that's usually the toughest one because we don't know where'd that rock come from and who put that pole there. And those types of things get moved around before when you're plowing snow. So everyone in the town and in the school district did a fantastic job. So kudos to them. That's all I got. We've only 3 business days from our last meeting.
All right. Correspondence or other. I would just like to take to thank everybody that, contributed and donated their time or food to my Thanksgiving effort. Yeah, it was a good time and hopefully it can grow with a little bit more preparation, but,
First time is
yeah.
difficult, then now the word's out.
Yeah.
Trouble.
And well, I mean, again, I dragged my feet on getting the word out there, so I could have done a lot better. As far as that goes, but I mean, I got to give my wife most of the credit for doing all the planning and getting everybody on board and coordinating everything. So, yeah, thank you to everybody that was involved with that. And
Thank you for coming up with the idea.
someone's
How
got to
many
do it.
people did you guys end up getting, you know?
I think we served like 20 meals, delivered a few and froze a couple and
Still 20 people that weren't gonna get,
yeah, no,
so
good time.
it's a good start, man.
I had a good time. It was a fun day.
Congrats.
Thank the board for waiving the policy to allow me to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What's the next?
manifest and
They're all signed. Thank you. Total accounts payable, $333,989.04. Total payroll, $526,571.41 for a grand total of $860,560,045.
everything's signed.
Thank you.
Got everything? All right, approval of minute.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes for November 5th, 2025.
Second.
Good by John, discussion? Those in favor? Aye. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to comment on, something I believe Mr. Danville said about the condition of the school. It does look amazing every time I walk in here and I get comments from all people on the town side and a lot of other people that say how amazingly clean this place looks.
We have,
And it's,
yeah, I'm just being interrupt, sorry, but we have that, we host the superintendent, Southeast region in January. And all of them come in, they're like, oh my God, Terry, we could eat off the floor.
Mhm.
We do it over the middle school, but again, when anybody comes into these buildings, it's nice that, when I get those kudos from other superintendents that talk about how, nice the buildings are, how well behaved the kids are. That's nice. Because we actually have the kids walk them up to the library up there, so that's a good thing. So, yeah.
yeah, I was up in Wells, Maine a couple months ago and they were having a craft fair at a school. And I'm like, I gotta go to that craft fair. I'm like, what do you need that for? I'm like, no, I just want to see the building. And I was looking around and like, it was not in as good a shape as I would expect it to be in a town like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I get
That's where I grew up. Those are my schools.
well, it's probably the same floor tiles and the
Probably.
coating and door jams because they're they're on their way out.
On the way out.
You'd go in the bathroom to see if there was a name Steve carved in.
Oh, no, those big
Would have been
pictures.
two. That was my, yeah.
But, no, as far as, I mean, other buildings that I have not been in one that, not even a hospital that's as clean as this building.
No, it's nice that, you know, it's just really cool that
They take pride in.
they
what
take
do.
pride in what they do. Exactly. All right.
All right.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by John, discussion. All those in favor? Aye. All right, thank you very much,
I
everybody.
will officially call that as a record.
Ow.